did you decide to reopen Alcatraz? Can you walk us through that decision?
Did I say what?
To reopen Alcatraz. How will you use it? How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I guess I was supposed to be a movie maker. We started with the movie making and we'll end. I mean, it represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country needs law and order. Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing and Alcatraz, the movies. But it's right now a museum, believe it or not. A lot of people go there.
Yeah, it's a museum. It's been a museum for a really long time, buddy. Hey, you just listed one of several of the reasons it's a stupid idea to propose reopening Alcatraz. It's a museum. It had a function, now it has a new function. Like your skull used to be for housing a brain and now it's doing something wildly different. But I don't know what the beginning of that was. I was supposed to be a movie maker. Did he have a micro stroke in response to that? I mean, he didn't hear the question initially, so maybe that was when the stroke actually hit. I don't know what that thing was about making, no, there have been movies made about it. That's what led you to propose this. We all know that, but you don't make movies. You appeared in Home Alone 2, and we're all very impressed with your performance, but I don't know what any of that was. Never forget, his brain is rotting out of his head. But anyway, he did have a little bit more to say, and it's gonna get more characteristically weird as he brings up one of his favorite topics of the last couple of years.
It housed the most violent criminals in the world, and nobody ever escaped. One person almost got there, but they, as you know the story, they found his clothing rather badly ripped up, and it was a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz. We'll see if we can bring it back in large form, add a lot. But I think it represents something. Right now it's a big hulk that's sitting there rusting and rotting. You look at it, it's sort of, you saw that picture that was put out, it's sort of amazing. But it sort of represents something that's both horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable, weak. It's got a lot of qualities that are interesting.
My God, okay, yeah, you know who else has a lot of qualities? Donald Trump. Most of those negative ones, miserable, weak, I'd definitely throw that there. I think an old Hulk sitting there rusting and rotting also could go in his Twitter bio. But anyway, that's his explanation for it. He's had an additional 24 hours to come up with a cover story that doesn't just admit that he was sitting at home watching TV and he saw a movie about Alcatraz and he's like, hey, I'll do that. That'll be the thing I do this week. But anyway, that's the best he's come up with. Luke, what do you make of this?
They call it Alcatraz. I'm gonna be a movie maker. It's so strong, so weak, so powerful, so diminished, so rusty, so new. I don't know what to make. What am I supposed to make of that, John? It is utter confusion and his obsession with, I agree with you. I think he saw a movie, but also he kept repeating no one ever escaped. There's some questions about if the three people survived. At least they did escape and then maybe they died afterwards. But he's obsessed with the imagery. Even if, as I know we're gonna get to, it doesn't make logistical sense, even if it doesn't make financial sense, he loves the idea of what would be a very small capacity of prisoners, like 300 something, could be a symbol of his dystopian vision for how to treat prisoners, particularly, I think he's referencing immigrants here. And well, I know sort of in trying to understand where these ideas come from, it's almost more disturbing as you learn more. I saw that on the movie tariff idea that is also really incoherent in how it'd be applied and where he got it from. It was just a conversation with John Voight. And so now he's slapping a big tariff on the movies. And he is, after all, a movie maker. So he knows those things.
Yeah, look, I'm fine with John Voight determining much of federal policy, but I just worry that this could hurt Hollywood long term. And I have no doubt that is true. I'm not even gonna fact check it. I'm just gonna roll with it was the John Voight thing because that sounds too real. Yeah, no, it's all madness. I agree with you that it's about the symbol. Donald Trump is obsessed with creating like the visual symbol. He's not a filmmaker, but he's creating a dystopia every day in the real world. And he has to have his concentration camp at Guantanamo, and he has to have CCOT, and he has to have this. It's not that we need another prison. It's not like America doesn't have enough prisons to hold all of its vicious killers or whatever. He just has to create those images. Because when you do that for a certain sort of American, it proves that the problem was there even if it wasn't. Like if we're creating a concentration camp at Guantanamo, then oh my God, I guess we had a big problem with these migrant killers. If we all of a sudden need Alcatraz, then I guess crime has gotten really bad. Even though neither of those things are actually true, for his base, they'll feel like it's true, and he definitely likes that. As you pointed out, logistically, there are a lot of problems with this. Pam Bondi, who cannot be trusted to say a single goddamn true thing anymore, she said it will lead to cost savings renovating Alcatraz for hundreds of millions of dollars to house 200 to 300 people, also cutting off the revenue that it brings in as a tourist center in San Francisco. None of that is true, but Pam Bondi is not a serious person. And so it's just, the whole thing is just disgusting.